Do you ever walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there? Or maybe you're searching for a word that's right on the tip of your tongue, but it just won't come out. Perhaps you've found yourself needing to reread the same paragraph a few times before it sinks in. Or you struggle to remember names that were just introduced to you. It's a frustrating and often unsettling experience, isn't it, many of us? Especially as we move past our 70s. Chalk these moments up to just getting older. A natural part of the aging process. We might even joke about senior moments. But deep down, there's a quiet worry that these small slips could be signs of something bigger. Something we can't control. The painful reality is that for many, these little mental hiccups can become more frequent, more pronounced, and they can start to chip away at our confidence and independence. The fear of losing our sharp wit, our memories, and our ability to navigate the world with clarity is a profound one. What if I told you that some of these struggles aren't inevitable, and that you might unknowingly be contributing to them through habits you still practice every single day? There's a secret. A quiet understanding that certain routine actions, things we might think are harmless or even convenient, are actually working against our brain health. Slowly, subtly, harming our cognitive abilities without us even realizing it. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 common habits that, if you're still doing them after 70, could be silently sabotaging your brain. But more importantly, we'll talk about simple, practical ways to reverse course and start supporting your brain's vitality. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's dive right in with the first thing that might be quietly harming your brain. And it's something many of us do without a second thought: the mindless munching of ultra-processed foods and sugary drinks. Think about your daily routine. Do you grab a quick biscuit with your tea? Or perhaps a ready meal for dinner because it's so convenient? Do fizzy drinks or fruit juices feature heavily in your day? For years, we've been bombarded with advertising for these convenient, tasty options. And they've become a staple in many households. But here's the quiet truth: these foods and drinks, while convenient and often delicious in the moment, are a major culprit in silently eroding our brain health. The reason is multifaceted, but it largely boils down to inflammation and nutrient deficiency. Ultra-processed foods are typically high in refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. When you consume these regularly, your body experiences a chronic, low-grade inflammatory response. Imagine your brain as a finely tuned engine. Chronic inflammation is like pouring dirty oil into that engine. It gums things up, slows down communication between brain cells, and can even damage those precious neurons over time. This isn't just about making you feel sluggish. It directly impacts your memory, focus, and overall cognitive function. Sugary drinks, in particular, cause rapid spikes and crashes in your blood sugar, which can lead to insulin resistance over time. A brain that's constantly bombarded by these sugar fluctuations struggles to function optimally. It's like trying to run your computer on an unstable power supply. It will eventually lead to glitches and slow performance. Beyond inflammation, these foods are often what we call nutrient void. They provide calories but very little in terms of essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your brain desperately needs to thrive. Your brain is a powerhouse, and it requires a steady supply of high-quality fuel. When you fill up on empty calories, your brain is essentially running on fumes, lacking the building blocks it needs for memory formation, neural repair, and even mood regulation. Think about it: if you're eating ready meals, processed snacks, or white bread, you're likely missing out on the vibrant array of nutrients found in whole, unprocessed foods like colorful fruits and vegetables, healthy fats from nuts and seeds, and lean proteins. So, what can you do about it? It's not about perfection, but about gentle, consistent swaps. Start by becoming a label reader. If you see a long list of ingredients you can't pronounce, or if sugar is one of the first few ingredients, consider putting it back. Instead of that sugary biscuit, try a handful of unsalted nuts or a piece of fruit. Swap out fizzy drinks for plain water. maybe with a slice of lemon or cucumber for flavor. Try to incorporate more whole, unprocessed foods into your daily meals. This could mean choosing real, rolled oats for breakfast instead of sugary cereals, or opting for grilled chicken and a big salad for lunch instead of a sandwich made with highly processed deli meat. Cooking more at home, even simple meals, gives you control over the ingredients. You don't have to become a gourmet chef overnight. Start small. If you typically have a ready meal 5 nights a week, try cooking a simple, nutritious meal just 1 or 2 nights to begin with. Over time, these small changes can significantly reduce inflammation and provide your brain with the vital nutrients it craves. I remember one gentleman, a retired school teacher, who loved his afternoon tea and biscuit ritual. He thought it was harmless. When he switched to having an apple with a small piece of cheese instead, he was surprised. Within a few weeks, he told me his afternoon brain fog seemed to lift, and he felt more alert, even in the late afternoon. It's the cumulative effect of these seemingly small choices that truly makes a difference. Now, closely related to what we put into our bodies is what we ask our minds to do. This brings us to the second habit that can quietly harm your brain: the quiet quitting of your brain, a lack of new learning and mental challenge. As we get older, it's easy to fall into comfortable routines. We know what we like, we have our preferred activities, and there's a certain peace in familiarity. The newspaper, the familiar television shows, the same walking route. While comfort is wonderful, a brain that isn't regularly challenged with new information or novel experiences can start to stagnate. It's like a muscle that isn't used. It will gradually lose its strength and agility. Your brain thrives on novelty and challenge. When you learn something new, your brain forms new neural connections, a process called neuroplasticity. It's like building new roads and highways in your brain, making it more efficient and robust. But if you stop learning, if you stick to the same old patterns and don't introduce new stimuli, those neural pathways can start to prune back. Your brain might become less agile, making it harder to adapt, remember new information, or solve problems. Think about how children are constantly learning and exploring. Their brains are incredibly plastic and adaptable. While we're not children anymore, our brains still retain an amazing capacity for growth, but it needs to be nurtured. So, what does this quiet quitting look like in practice? It could be avoiding new technology, sticking strictly to the same genres of books, or even avoiding conversations that push you to think outside your comfort zone. It's the tendency to say, "I'm too old to learn that," or "That's not for me." But every time you do that, you're missing an opportunity to give your brain a valuable workout. The good news is, engaging your brain doesn't mean going back to school or solving complex mathematical equations. Unless you want to. It's about introducing novelty and challenge in ways that genuinely interest you. Have you ever thought about learning a new language? Even just a few phrases, or picking up a musical instrument, even just simple chords on a ukulele. What about trying a new craft? Like knitting, pottery, or drawing. These activities engage different parts of your brain and demand new neural connections. Even simpler things can make a difference. Try a new route for your daily walk. Read books outside your usual genre. Engage in strategy games like chess or Sudoku. Or even try a new recipe that requires you to learn new techniques. Many community centers offer free or low-cost classes specifically for seniors. From computer skills to creative writing. Embrace them. I remember a retired engineer who, after years of a highly structured life, felt his mind getting dull. He started taking painting classes, something completely new to him. He told me it was frustrating at first, but the challenge of seeing, mixing colors, and creating something tangible ignited a spark in his brain that he hadn't felt in years. He wasn't just painting, he was literally reshaping his brain. These daily, small acts of learning and mental engagement are powerful tools in keeping your mind sharp and resilient. They are your brain's equivalent of going to the gym. building strength and flexibility for the years ahead. Moving on from mental exercise, let's talk about something incredibly fundamental that many people over 70 still sacrifice, often without realizing the profound impact it has on their brain sleep and its close companion: chronic unmanaged stress. We live in a world that often glorifies being busy, pushing through fatigue, and managing a full plate of worries. For many, a good night's sleep feels like a luxury they can't afford, and stress feels like an unavoidable part of life. But consistently sacrificing sleep and allowing stress to run rampant are two of the most damaging habits for your brain health. Think of sleep as your brain's essential maintenance crew. While you're asleep, your brain isn't just resting, it's actively working to clear out metabolic waste products that build up during the day. Much like a cleaning service tidying up an office after hours, this waste includes harmful proteins like beta amyloid, which are implicated in cognitive decline. If you consistently get insufficient or poor quality sleep, your brain doesn't get a chance to perform this vital cleansing process. It's like trying to work in an office that's never cleaned. Things get messy, disorganized, and eventually, the whole system breaks down. Lack of sleep also impairs memory consolidation, making it harder to convert new experiences into long-term memories. It affects your attention span, your ability to make decisions, and even your mood. You might feel more irritable, anxious, or just generally off, and your brain is struggling to keep up. Now, let's talk about chronic stress. Stress isn't always bad. Acute stress can be motivating. But when stress becomes chronic, when you're constantly worried, anxious, or feeling overwhelmed, your body produces a continuous stream of stress hormones like cortisol. While cortisol is necessary for fight-or-flight responses, prolonged exposure to high levels of it can literally shrink the hippocampus, a crucial area of the brain involved in memory and learning. It's like constantly revving your car engine at high RPMs. It puts immense wear and tear on the system. Many people, especially as they get older, carry decades of worry, past traumas, or current anxieties about health, finances, or family. These unmanaged stresses are a silent but potent neurotoxin, slowly eroding your brain's capacity and resilience. So, what can you do to stop sacrificing your brain on the altar of poor sleep and unmanaged stress? It starts with prioritizing. Treat sleep as a non-negotiable part of your health routine, just like eating or exercising. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Establish a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Create a calming bedtime routine, dim the lights. Avoid screens an hour before bed. Read a book. Listen to soothing music, or take a warm bath. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, dark, quiet, and cool. If you have persistent sleep issues, talk to your doctor. There might be underlying causes that can be addressed. For stress, the key is management, not elimination. Life will always have its stressors, but you can change your response to them. Incorporate daily stress reduction practices. This could be as simple as 5 to 10 minutes of deep breathing exercises, gentle stretching or yoga, spending time in nature, or engaging in a hobby you love. Many people find mindfulness meditation incredibly helpful. It teaches you to observe your thoughts without getting swept away by them. Practicing gratitude can also shift your perspective from worry to appreciation. Even simple things like talking to a trusted friend or journaling your thoughts can alleviate stress. I remember a woman who used to dread bedtime because her mind would race with worries. She started a routine of listening to a guided meditation before bed and keeping a worry journal where she'd write down her anxieties before turning out the light. She found her sleep improved dramatically. And with it, her ability to focus and manage daily tasks felt much clearer. These small, consistent efforts to nurture your sleep and manage your stress are incredibly powerful acts of self-care for your brain. Beyond what we do for ourselves individually, There's another crucial element that profoundly impacts our cognitive health. Yet many of us, especially after 70, find ourselves doing less of it: the echo chamber of solitude. Social disconnection. As life changes, children move away, friends may pass on, or physical limitations make it harder to get out. It's easy for our social circles to shrink. Spending more time alone can seem appealing, offering peace and quiet. But chronic social isolation is far more damaging to your brain than you might realize. Your brain is a fundamentally social organ. It evolved in a context of constant interaction, communication, and collaboration. When you engage in conversations, listen to different perspectives, solve problems with others, or even just share a laugh, your brain is actively working. It's processing language, interpreting emotions, retrieving memories, and forming new thoughts. This constant stimulation is a powerful form of cognitive exercise. When you withdraw into solitude, this vital stimulation diminishes. It's like turning down the volume on your brain's activity. The connections that are not used regularly can weaken, and your brain might become less agile in social situations, leading to a vicious cycle where it feels harder to re-engage. Beyond cognitive stimulation, social connection is deeply tied to emotional well-being. Loneliness, the subjective feeling of being isolated, has been linked to increased inflammation, higher stress hormone levels, and a greater risk of cognitive decline and even dementia. It can lead to feelings of sadness, anxiety, and a lack of purpose, all of which can indirectly harm brain health by increasing stress and potentially leading to less engagement in other healthy habits. It's not just about having people around you. It's about feeling connected, feeling valued, and having meaningful interactions. So, how do you break free from the echo chamber of solitude and foster more connection? It doesn't mean you need to become a social butterfly overnight, especially if you're naturally more introverted. Start small and authentically. Consider joining a club or group based on a long-standing interest or a new one. This could be a book club, a walking group, a gardening club, a volunteer organization, or even a weekly coffee meetup at a local cafe. The key is regular, low-pressure interaction. Reach out to family and friends. A phone call, a video chat, or even a thoughtful letter can bridge distances. Many communities have senior centers that offer a plethora of activities, from card games to exercise classes. Don't be afraid to try something new. You never know who you might meet. Embrace intergenerational connections too. Spending time with younger family members or volunteering with children can offer fresh perspectives and mental stimulation. One woman I know, after her husband passed, found herself spending most of her days alone. She took the brave step of volunteering at her local library, reading to children, the conversations with the kids, the interactions with other volunteers, and the sense of purpose she gained completely revitalized her. She found her memory for stories and names improved, and she felt a renewed zest for life. These human connections are not just good for your spirit, they are essential nourishment for your brain. Finally, something incredibly simple, yet so often overlooked, especially after 70, the forgotten fount: chronic dehydration and skipping essential nutrients. Many people don't realize that simply not drinking enough water throughout the day can have a significant negative impact on their brain function. And similarly, neglecting certain key nutrients can leave your brain running on empty. Your brain is composed of about 75 to 80% water. Even mild dehydration can lead to a decrease in brain volume and impact cognitive performance. When you're dehydrated, you might experience headaches, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, slower reaction times, and even confusion. It's like trying to run a complex machine without enough coolant. It overheats and becomes sluggish. As we age, our thirst mechanism can become less sensitive, meaning we don't always feel thirsty even when our bodies need water, coupled with a common worry about needing to use the bathroom more often. Many people intentionally limit their fluid intake, unknowingly harming their brain. Similarly, neglecting essential nutrients due to a limited diet Poor absorption, or simply not knowing what your brain needs, can starve your brain of vital building blocks. We've already touched on processed foods being nutrient void, but even if you eat mostly whole foods, if your diet lacks variety, you could be missing out. For example, omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, flax seeds, and walnuts, are crucial for brain cell membranes and communication. B vitamins, particularly B12, are essential for nerve function and preventing brain shrinkage, and deficiencies are common in older adults. Antioxidants from colorful fruits and vegetables protect brain cells from damage. When your brain doesn't get these essential components, it can't perform at its best, leading to reduced cognitive function and an increased risk of neurological problems over time. So, how do you make sure your brain is properly hydrated and nourished for hydration? The solution is simple but requires consistency. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. By then, you're already mildly dehydrated. Aim to sip water throughout the day. Keep a water bottle handy, by your favorite chair, next to your bed. Set reminders on your phone if you need to. If plain water feels boring, try adding slices of lemon, lime, cucumber, or a few berries for natural flavor. Herbal teas are also a good option. Remember, coffee and sugary drinks don't count as hydration in the same way water does. For essential nutrients, focus on a diverse, whole food diet. Eat the rainbow is a good mantra. Try to include fruits and vegetables of various colors in your meals. Incorporate healthy fats from sources like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Include lean proteins from fish, poultry, beans, and lentils. If you're concerned about specific nutrient deficiencies, especially B12, talk to your doctor. They can do blood tests and advise whether supplements are appropriate for you. A retired nurse I met was constantly complaining of being tired and having trouble remembering things. She realized she barely drank water and mostly ate toast and tea. With just a few simple dietary changes, including consciously drinking more water and adding more vegetables and a daily handful of nuts, she noticed a remarkable shift in her energy and clarity. It was a simple, yet profound, change for her brain. So, we've talked about 5 crucial habits that, if you still do them after 70, could be subtly harming your brain without you even knowing it. We started by exploring the quiet but significant damage caused by the mindless munching of ultra-processed foods and sugary drinks, and how choosing whole, unprocessed options can fuel your brain rather than inflame it. Then, we delved into the quiet quitting of your brain, the habit of avoiding new learning and mental challenges, and how embracing novelty and continuous learning can keep your brain agile and adaptable. We also discussed the profound impact of sacrificing sleep and embracing chronic stress, highlighting how prioritizing restorative rest and effective stress management are essential for your brain's daily cleanup and long-term health. We then moved on to the echo chamber of solitude, reminding ourselves that robust social connections are not just good for our spirit, but are vital for cognitive stimulation and emotional well-being. And finally, we uncovered the forgotten fount, the critical importance of staying properly hydrated and ensuring your brain receives all its essential nutrients through a varied diet. Remember, the journey to a sharper, more vibrant brain isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even small, consistent changes in these areas can lead to remarkable improvements in your cognitive function, your energy levels, and your overall sense of well-being. It's never too late to adopt new habits that nourish your brain and protect your mental sharpness. Your brain is an incredible, adaptable organ, and it responds beautifully to the care you give it. Think of these changes not as a burden, but as an investment in your most valuable asset, your mind. I'd love to hear which of these habits resonated most with you, or what positive changes you've already made or plan to make to support your brain health. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might just inspire someone else. If this video has opened your eyes to new ways to protect your brain and live a fuller, more vibrant life, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who could benefit from this information. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful content designed to empower you to live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching. And remember, your brain is your most incredible asset. Nurture it, challenge it, and watch it flourish. Here's to a sharp mind and a joyful life, no matter your age.